Welcome everyone. I'm Joti Balani. I am founder and managing director of FreshRiver.ai. We are a conversational AI and data science consultancy. We do strategy and delivery services for the Fortune 100. And I'm joined today by Surbhi Rathore, the amazing founder of SymblAI. I think one of the few that is doing the things that they're doing in this space. Welcome, Surbhi.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Are you enjoying the show?
I am. I've actually been speaking. This is my third time speaking since morning, so I'm truly enjoying the show.
Everybody wants to know what Surbhi and SymblAI is up to, for sure, right?
Well, I hope for the good reasons.
Absolutely. So tell us reason, you're the CEO and the founder. Tell us what's the inspiration of starting this?
I spent 15 years building products for the contact center, conversational AI, understanding how people can use machines to replace people. And the truly missing part in all of that equation was truly understanding human conversations as a starting point. And so that's why when we started the company, our mission was really to be able to understand human conversations better than humans. And if we can enable machines to do that without any bias of a goal-oriented conversation, we can really maximize the outcomes that people are driving in day-to-day human conversations. That happens in sales, contact center, meetings, like so much knowledge and data being exchanged. Information is lost at a scale that we don't even realize.
That's right.
And that's the potential that we are trying to tap into.
Yeah, every project we start with Fortune 100, I say, where's your data? Because it's your gold mine.
Yeah.
Right? Conversations that are sitting from the contact center,
Yeah.
right? Even emails, structured or unstructured, contains so much insight. You don't even have to guess what you need to do to solve your problems,
Yeah.
right? So in your framework of how you formed the platform itself, right? In the larger ecosystem, where does it fit? Like, how do you guys go to market with that with your clients?
Yeah, we look at the spectrum of human conversations from two angles. One is the human-to-machine conversations, and the other is the human-to-human conversations.
Right.
So we lie in the human-to-human conversation aspect, and we have built a technology to be used to build experiences that augments human when they're talking. So everything around real-time assist, real-time moderation, compliance, summarizing conversations with context, all the productivity use cases, all of that stuff. But we really sit tangential to the automation landscape so that we can inform and power those use cases better than they can today.
So when you run the analytics, what does the presentation layer look like? Because you can explain to a lot of stakeholders.
That is true.
Right?
Well, we are an API platform. That means we partner with builders in any organization that have a vision of what they want to solve for, and they're looking for the right technology to be able to understand it. Obviously, as a startup, we can't solve all the problems.
Right.
So we've picked up our sweet spot, and our sweet spot is the blind spot for several businesses, which is the NLU for conversations.
Right.
So our products are designed in a way that you can ingest data using an API and an SDK with live stream or on telephony on SIP-REC endpoints or using just recorded files, and then extract data and intelligence in real time also, and also customize it to fit your domain. So it's very much API first. So if you heard about companies like Twilio, Stripe, Auth0, we kind of follow the same go-to-market motion. So it's very bottoms-up, developer-led, and that's kind of how we roll. The presentation layer is usually built by the customers that we work with.
Got it.
Or we provide some out-of-the-box pre-built UIs that you can adopt and go to market faster. But I do think sometimes building a differentiated experience is very unique to businesses, and that's kind of where they should invest time into.
Right. So given all the data that you're handling, where's privacy, security, that framework? How do you think about that?
Yeah, we were actually very mindful of the entire security paradigm when we started the company. So the first person that we got on board was CISO. And we are now SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, PCI, HIPAA, GDPR, everything. We don't store audio recordings in the platform. Enterprises look at us as a processing engine where they can process audio and get all the insights first. But the platform is built with security. We follow all the standard protocols, but we have all the compliances in place to be able to really match up to the enterprise standard.
So which functional leaders, industry verticals, like who is gravitated towards what you guys are offering first?
Yeah, the products are really built for any industry, but just from an adoption and initial scale standpoint, we've seen a lot of value in fintech. We've seen a lot of value in insurtech. We've seen a lot of values in telco call centers, specifically at scale. There are new use cases that are emerging for building a very customized real-time assist for sales, for a coaching experience. We have customers in the event space actually that are monitoring real-time engagement through a multimodal standpoint and driving and adapting to that engagement in order to drive better experience from a webinar standpoint. And then obviously productivity is a big one called summarization. But I think fintech, insurtech, telcos, this is our natural adoption that we've got for coaching, compliance, and productivity use cases.
Is that being driven more by cost or the fact that they can't find humans to go sit in those seats anymore to do the work? Are you seeing any of the great resignation sort of help lift you guys?
You know, it's interesting because a lot of the use cases we do today are not direct to business. We have some direct to business use cases, but a lot of like natural adoption that we got was working with product managers and builders that are actually solving these problems at a much higher scale. So a lot of this is driven by the great resignation. A lot of this is driven by how do we really use our investment that we've already made in products and really maximize the use of these products rather than deploying more products in-house.
Right.
And it's also driven by the fact that people have data science teams, businesses have data science teams, but they want their data science teams to be focused on their business outcomes rather than solving problems that actually exist in the industry and are more horizontal and general understanding layer. So most of the times when we work with businesses, we partner up with their data officers, their data practice, their data analytics organizations, or the data science organizations, and we augment what they do so that they can focus their energy on driving more data analytics for their business and correlating the general conversation understanding with what's happening at their end. So that's kind of how we usually work. Yeah.
So it's really connecting the dots, because I know a lot of data science teams struggle to sort of demonstrate value, right? Because you've got the functional parts of the business that are trying to say, well, what's the value of the data that you're sitting on? And data is dirty, data is biased.
Yep.
Do you guys do any cleaning, or do you sort of partner with other folks to say, how do you clean before you analyze? Because as we know, data is also very biased. How do you think about that?
Yeah, well, our ingestion data is very specific to use cases. So for instance, sales calls and customer support calls. The cleaning is really required in terms of interpreting what to use. And that's kind of what our products do, which I'll talk about in a second. So we have 3 different products that does a little bit of cleaning and metadata generation at the same time.
Okay.
We have a product called Trackers, which is really built with zero-shot inference and learning that lets you define intents or what to track for with just a few examples, uses the understanding layer of the conversation to really augment that, and you can build a classifier or a new intent model in like a second and use it to apply to your conversations to get insights in less than 200 milliseconds. It's so real time.
Yeah.
So that's one, and we have like a library of 40 plus pre-built trackers that lets you find those nuggets in conversations without really building anything.
Sure, yeah.
The other one that we have is abstractive summarization. That also kind of helps in send your data through the summarization API, lets you kind of create a meeting brief, which is a more cleaner version of the data and normalizes it to specific use cases.
Right.
That's another one. And the third one we have is topics. We've invested a lot there because we do dynamic topics which don't need to be trained specifically, but they can be customized with vocabulary.
So the time to market for this must be really fast.
Exactly.
The libraries, right? They sort of set you free.
That has been the core and the objective of the company building, that we cannot solve the problem of adoption at scale if accessibility is still low.
That's correct.
If people are spending millions of dollars and months of time to build a model, they can never get to market and think about the experience and solving the end business outcome.
It defeats the purpose. Yes, that's right.
So yes, the whole platform is built in a way that it's low code, it's API first, and it's like ready to go. If you have data that you want to fine tune it, you can bring it. But if you don't, we support you in the journey where you are. The goal is to meet the customer where they are.
Absolutely. It cannot be revolutionary, right? It's got to be evolutionary. Crawl, walk, run.
Yeah.
In the last 2 minutes, what does the next 6 to 12 months look like for Symbl?
We are so excited by finally getting adoption of how people are thinking about human conversations. I think the last 3 years has been a lot of evolution on virtual assistants and chatbots and building that better systems. And now we're finally seeing people realizing that unless there will always be chatbots. But human conversations will never go away.
That's right.
So how can we truly capitalize on this? We are investing into doubling down on the different parts of the context that really forms the conversation, all the way from tonality to audio-based feature extraction to the content that we're already doing. How can we really capitalize on all the modals of conversation and inform the outcomes that we are doing? We are doubling down on summarization as a product, trackers as a product that we have, and obviously all the other context understanding pieces that we are building with the goal of reducing time to market.
It's amazing. I mean, you know, there's a book called Exponential Age by Azim Azhar, and you're literally living that, driving that exponential adoption, right? And I think we've hit the inflection point of the industry, you know, way out of the hype cycle.
Yeah.
You're seeing it in real time. Surbhi, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll be keeping an eye on you and SymblAI. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Absolutely. I had to get to it. I'm talking. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Thank you.